So listen, all you millennials out there, you grew up watching this basketball. You probably never even heard of this guy because you don't know any better. You know the history of the game. Cedric Cornbread, the rubber band man, Maxwell. This guy was an MVP of 1980?
81.
1981 NBA Finals against Houston.
Yep.
And he teamed up with Larry Bird for a couple years. You guys were like, what teams? I mean, what's the difference between the ball today and the ball when you were playing?
Well, I think that now the guys are a lot more athletic. I don't know if they know how to play the game as well, but it's real. The game has changed, and Celtics have some great players right now. So I'm real interested in watching the development of the C's as they go forward.
So, I mean, I love Jaylen Brown. I love Tatum. Those are two guys I did not want them to get rid of, and they kept them, thank God. I just don't know if they have to fight. That's the one thing, the fight. Like, you had to fight. Danny Ainge had to fight. Bird had to fight. I don't know if these guys do.
You haven't put them in the fight yet. I mean, wait till they get in the fight. And, you know, when Jaylen Brown dunked the other day on LeBron, that's called fight. You know, when Jason Tatum dunked a couple years ago on LeBron, that's called fight. So I wouldn't worry about that. I think that these are really good players, and their time is going to come. And the good thing about it, we can watch them grow as players.
Now, who's your favorite guy on the team? Marcus Smart, Dirt Dog?
Marcus might be my favorite guy because of just how gritty he is. And there's not a lot of guys, I would say, in the NBA right now that could play during the 80s, during my particular era. Marcus would be one of those guys.
I kind of feel like Marcus Smart and Danny Ainge are the same type of player, although Ainge was a way better shooter than Marcus.
Yeah, I would say that. And I'd say Marcus is a much better defender. So at the end of the day, I think both guys are smart. They had their own little quirks, but I think they're both great players.
I mean, you're not a Hall of Famer, but you should be.
No.
I feel like you should be a Hall of Famer.
Guys right there knocking on the door. I'd be a knock on the door, but they don't let them in right now. So at the end of the day, that doesn't bother me. When I talk to guys like you, and I know the history of the game, you don't worry about your place in the game.
You were unreal. How many years did you play?
12 years.
12 years. Did you end up going to Houston?
Yeah. I played 8 years with the Celtics, and then I played with the Rockets, and then I played with the Clippers.
I thought that was one of Red Auerbach's worst moves, trading you. Although Walt was a good move, but you getting traded to me wasn't a... Red Auerbach was great, but that wasn't a great move on his part. And I don't want to talk about the dead.
No, things happen. And at the end of the day, I think everybody did well. You know, I went on further in my career. Walton came here to win a championship. So you don't even, you live with the times you were here. And we had some great times while I was here.
No regrets?
None at all.
Now, what do you think about Mondays? Do you like Mondays?
Mondays, I'm not a particular fan of Mondays. But now that I know that you have a show on Monday, I might be a fan of Monday now. Max loves Mondays. If you're not with Mondays, you got to get rid of it. Woo woo. All right, big trust.
Hey, Max, my pleasure talking to you. Great to meet you.
All right,
Good man. Good man. Thank you so much.